Here we go. Hey, welcome back. Now it's time to talk about Canvas. And the reason it's time to talk about Canvas is because a lot of design people have told me how to run my Canvas course. And so over the past several months, I've tried to put together a Canvas course that's easier to follow and something that you can navigate where you could be more comfortable where you find the information because that's one of the things that I think it's always been a weakness of mine. Anyway, today I'm joined by my friend and TA Ava. She's here and she's helped me work on this Canvas course from a student perspective. And that's one of the things I always thought was missing in these design processes. You get a designer from outside, you get the professor, but nobody really talks to the student. And so here we have somebody who's willing to say, hey, that don't do that. And so, Ava, thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Yes, hello.
And so we're going to talk about how do you navigate the course. And so here we go. The thing to remember in here, my courses can get a little choppy. And you think that's fair, Ava?
Yes.
Yeah. So there's ups, there's downs,
It's
there
all
could
about
be,
improv.
yeah, it's all about improv. And so this is your lighthouse in the storm. So you can always go to Canvas, kind of find out what's going on. And if you happen to get lost, obviously you can talk to me as well. But this is a place where I do try and keep this up to date, and it's a very active site. What do you think about that, Ava? Do I tend to run a pretty active site as opposed to just one that's set for the semester?
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that there are times when deadlines or something changes, and you're really good about keeping that updated on Canvas. I know that we're going to include in the syllabus a kind of list of when we're doing everything and what will we do when, but as that changes, Canvas will probably be the best resource to make sure you've got the most up-to-date information.
Yeah. So I try pretty hard to make sure it is not real time, but it's pretty quick. And if people have questions, I'll try to respond as quickly as I can. If I get multiple questions on the same topic, I'll put something out there. And if I need to, I'll do a video where people can kind of see the process. But anyway, this is probably one of your best resources throughout the semester. So you got to know how to navigate it. Ultimately, we've got 10 modules. And so remember, these are not weeks, these are topics. And so we have the accounting concepts, we have the data analysis component, and then we have what I like the most about the course is connecting the dots. And that's probably the thing I like the most. That may be the hardest part of the course. And so, Ava, tell me a little bit about how, because I kind of talk about this idea of it being different. Memorization is different than utilization. And so even once you get to a grad program, people still tend to think, okay, the thing I need to do is memorize stuff. How does this, how does what happens in my course differ, if it does at all?
Yeah, absolutely. There's no big exam that you have to memorize a million things for. The module, each module will have its own assessment, but it's really not, the questions won't be based on memorizing terms or anything. And I do think this orange piece, the connect the dots, is possibly the most challenging, but also definitely the most interesting. And that's really where you're completing projects and assignments that make you think. And I think that that's really useful.
Yeah, my goal is to say, okay, how do I make you better? I'm getting ready for work. So I like to think of this as a practical and an applied course. And so that does take it a little bit out of the realm of typical academic fare.
But
So
I think that it's the best way to prepare students for careers because you will never have to memorize a million things. You'll always have Google.
yeah,
But learning how to critically think and look at this information is really
yeah.
where that. is on this course. So,
If it's not on Google or YouTube, you don't need to know it.
right.
So anyway, with that, this is the way our structure is for each module. And so we try to follow this basic format, but this part, I blew that up so you can see these pieces. So I try to set up each module with some information about what's on the horizon, tells you your learning objectives and those kinds of things. When you're looking for files that we're going to use every week, there are the downloads. And so people typically find those pretty useful. That'll also include problems that will work in class and those kinds of things. BYOK, what have I done? Uh, anyway, let's bring your own knowledge. And so uh, we thought it was funny, but nonetheless, in there we've got a variety of videos that will focus on the topics that we're covering. So if you need additional help, maybe some tutorial work, some of those kinds of things on specific topics, we've tried to curate those. We're trying to make those pretty short so that they really don't go more than 7 minutes. But you like you said before, though, the videos that we put together are pretty helpful. Is that fair, Ava?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
they're really useful. Yeah.
yeah, and I do them. It's not like I'm uploading them from somebody else. But anyway, that's what those are. I'll also attach some additional readings and some videos that I've found interesting. Now, um, those typically are not as accounting-esque either, right, Ava? So why would anybody want to do any of additional reading or look at any other videos?
Well, I think you really have an eye for what's relevant, even if it's not strictly accounting. I think that these typically go hand in hand with the discussion board posts and other things that help students really be introspective. And it's honestly a nice break from the just monotony of kind of going through classes and only looking at curriculum materials. This is a great way to kind of meditate a little bit on what is the deeper goal with all of this.
There's only so many accounting problems anybody should work in
Right.
their lifetime. So, and then we will record our videos and you'll be able to track those down here. The bottom half, this part, you've got preview quizzes that'll set you up. That gives you an idea of where you are in terms of material. If you came out of our accounting 3010 program here at Tulane, or you came out of another introductory managerial or cost course, this looks at the concepts that you should have seen there and basically is a review. And so you'll take that quiz. We'll have a variety of activities in class. Don't have anything particular. There's no real preparation for those. We just kind of make those happen during the day. And then finally, the module assessments, you'll get some information. And in this case, for example, you get a place to turn in a spreadsheet. So what I've done is put together kind of a guided spreadsheet. And then once you're complete with that, you just submit it up here and that'll cover the assessment. Now, Ava just went through this one for me to see if it was uh, interesting and enough and you could follow it. What she already told me I need to make 2 corrections, but that's another story. So what do you think of the spreadsheet approach that we use?
I'm a huge fan of Excel, so I'm biased, but I think that Excel is probably one of the most efficient ways to work out problems anyways. So having the information set up on there makes it really, really simple and easy to work out the problems. There's also, I wanted to note, a Becker question on this. So this is how that's kind of being integrated into the course. So even if
That's
you
a
don't
good point. Yeah.
if you don't set up a Becker account, you can see those questions in these assessments as well.
And so the goal was to show you kind of different techniques to solve it because remember Becker is just there as a review. It's not telling you actually how to do the problems, and it certainly doesn't give you some of the best shortcuts. And so I'm really big into shortcuts and how to get it done faster. As I like to say, is basically because I'm lazy. So anyway, that's the way that the modules kind of work, and the projects themselves will have their own separate module that you can go to and see all the information. But that's the basic flow. What's your take on the flow of our module structure, Ava?
I think that what you see here is pretty much the order that you'll want to look at all of this information. So I think I'm really happy with how we set up this Canvas view.
Okay.
Pretty much just click through, and that's about the order that you're going to want to see these things.
Okay. Well, we tried to make it efficient. We tried to make it as streamlined as possible. So, but there's always work to be done. You, as they say, you never get done. You just run out of time. So, with that, again, I don't hear any questions. So we must have answered everything possible. So with that, I got to thank Ava for her help, both in the design part, but also in putting this video together for you all. And I'll see everybody in class. Thanks, Ava.
Thank you. Have a great
Uh,
semester, everyone.
all right. See ya. Bye.